What's up, everybody? Another tip, call out, and strategy video today, this time for you on Guardian. So first, let's start out with call outs really quick. So this is obviously only Guardian Ball, but one of the more difficult game types, I would say, more hard to learn, hard to learn correctly. So you spawn bottom blue right here on this side. That's green room. You know, garden. This whole area is garden. Bottom gold, top gold, barrels, top blue. This is blue nades, front blue, blue ramp. You know, snipe lift. The callouts on this map are pretty self-explanatory. You probably know a lot of them. Pretty easy. Top, middle, you know, there's camo, bottom green, top green, you know, elbow. That's a garden green stump. And then S2, front S2, S3, S1, bottom glass. So you pretty much know everything. They're pretty easy callouts. But let's go over, like, tips on how to play the map. So, the absolute best setup that you can usually have is bringing the ball to blue, but it's a more difficult thing to do because you have to get that ball, the play ball top center, at a special time to the point where either they are respawning at snipe or we're going to respawn bottom green, and you can just bring the ball usually over here to garden and like get away with it, right? If you bring the ball up here and you can control camo and top blue, if you can control these areas, then, and if you prevent them from camo lifting, then you can basically spawn kill them at bottom green, because if you send one of your teammates over to snipe, they're going to continuously spawn bottom green, and you can get a really good spawn trap on them, and you're just easy. It's easier to kill them when they have to go elbow, when they have to go bottom mid. You know, you're S3, you know how to play. If they're going to be coming from green, you know where they're going to be, and you can. It's just easier to keep them trapped when they're respawning all bottom green, right? So that's
ball reset.
That's the most prime, best possible ball setup you could have. But obviously the typical situation is you bring the ball bottom green, right? A lot of people make mistakes of not knowing when to get the play ball. You have to be a very good eye. You have to look at the kill feed. You have to know how quickly they died, and if you think they're going to be able to respawn like bottom blue or blue barrels, because that's where we usually spawn, and if they're going to have time to walk over there and kill you before you get the ball. So if you think they have already spawned up with enough time, then don't go for the play ball and try to bring it to green. But if you think you're going to be able to drop the ball and throw it around and get away with it, then go for the play ball, because getting that play ball is probably one of the hardest things to learn on this map, is when to get the ball and what area to go to, okay? So it takes practice, but just make sure you pay attention to the kill feed, right? Now, we're talking about setups here. When the ball is bottom green, either someone needs to play this area, whether it's the ball guy or not, but when your teammate has a setup, you want to play this area. You want to position yourself so you don't get shot from guys at camo, because the guys at camo can shoot you. Obviously, they're sitting right here, right? And then you want to be able to be in a position where you can keep popping out left and right to shoot these guys that are in blue, that are going to go top center from blue. This guy is important because he has to get the initial shots on these guys that are walking down this way, so they don't just get to right here full shields, right? You're gonna have to relieve some pressure from your teammates at snipe. But if you can just get them a little weak before they push top center, then that's pretty much your job, right? You just get them a little bit weak and try to make people push you, right? The enemy team's going to be trying to push this guy right here at green because he's so vulnerable. He's out there, but he can play it really well because he's using this whole green ramp right here to nade bottom middle, because like a lot of times they're going to try to go bottom middle and try to finish you. So like if they do, you can just play it right here, play it really well, stay alive. You know, if they actually do push you from bottom middle, say you're no shields right here and they push you, you can play ring around the rosy with them on the base with this cover, this green ramp, and just stay alive, right? So it's a really good spot to be. Sometimes I want the ball guy to be this guy, but other times the ball can be usually over here playing elbow, right? Now elbow guy, if you do have the ball around here, make sure you're jumping around looking for people, okay? Like look at where they're gonna come from. You have to scout with the ball, right? If you have a full setup, right, and you are scouting and you see an enemy trying to make a move, trying to be aggressive, drop the ball and get shots on them. You know, it's better than letting them get to like a really good, like farther up on the map, full shields, and then starting to shoot your teammates and kill you. If you get the initial shots on them and they don't shoot you, then they're going to be weak in a position where, you know, now it's 10 seconds for them to get their shields back, and you know they're going to be stuck based on their position most of the time. They can't. Their angles are going to be cut short on how many different angles they can go to, because if they do go to somewhere and they get in a fight with somebody that's full shields or has more shields than them, then they're going to die. So that's what you got to understand in Guardian, is that like a guy that's in a bad position that is no shields is as good as dead. If he's in that position and he's not doing damage, and he's just waiting for his shields to get out for 10-15 seconds, he's basically as good as dead because he's not doing damage to your teammates. Does that make sense? So play this elbow. You know, you can look snipe lift, you can look blue, you can look around. Make sure you don't get shot for free by camo or whatever, but like if they try to push top middle from gold, you can come up here and drop ball and get ready to shoot it from top gold to top middle, alright? So this is like how you play these two positions, alright? So now you have these guys that snipe whose main job is to kind of stop the initial push from top gold with their BR, and maybe they can snipe from S2, you can snipe from elbow if you have a snipe. But their main job, I would say, is to stop them from just jumping down to snipe lift full shields. You want to just start, you want to get them weak before they can just jump out, right? So I like to play it, if I don't have a snipe, if I do have a snipe, okay, so if I do have a snipe, sometimes I'll come up here, but you got to be really cautious about being right here because you can get naded off this tree from top gold pretty easily, and you can get naded from inside blue. So make sure if you do think they're about to nade you, you know, you can go for the challenge with snipe, but make sure you back up, like immediately back up from this spot because you can get naded. But sometimes it can be good to be all the way out here looking gold, you know, if you don't think they're going to be in blue yet, right? So this is how you play this position. You play snipe, right? You make sure that, like, nobody jumps out. If they do jump out and you're outnumbered, just back down. Try to get your shields back. Go all the way S1. You can come to this position and hide. You can come to this position and shoot them when you're trying to get your shields back. You can come here and try to get your shields back right here just so you don't get naded. But obviously watch out from guys pushing from gold. Likely you can either come elbow and like maybe try to live from grenades or something, or come like get your shields back right here. Just make sure you're just not like giving them free kills. You just got to be paying attention to where they are. So this is how two guys that snipe. I think ideally the sniper can like snipe from S2 and look gold and look from blue right here and look snipe lift right here maybe, but he's just gotta watch out. He's gonna try to snipe, pick guys off at top gold and top camo. Just make sure you're playing your life with snipe and you don't get no shields too quickly. So basically this is kind of the idea of how you play snipe. You know, prevent them from jumping right here. You can kind of let him go top blue because you have that guy bottom green watching the front blue, right? You can kind of let him go top blue to top middle because if they do get top middle, like, they're not doing damage yet until they're like over here. You know what I mean? Like they're not really a threat top middle until they're over here. Does that make sense? Because they can't really have good angles like right here. So like you don't have to like suicide to kill them top middle, but you just gotta make sure that like your teammates know they're gonna be top middle and get ready to drop the ball and start slaying them all. What you don't want to do is let a guy that's like more than half shields lift at snipe lift. So that's your job. Just don't let them try to lift and get nades on you and stuff, right? So just dodge nades and do damage, but don't take a lot of damage. And if you do take damage and they are going to snipe lift, make sure you don't die. Just run all the way away. Buy time for your teammates to just get over to you and finish those kills, okay? Or play the ball and then kill those guys after and keep snipe control and then get the next play ball. Just make sure you get the kills. So lastly, we'll talk about how to break the setup, right? Basically, to break the setup, you kind of do, you know, what's the weakness of the setup I just talked about. Basically, if you do get nades on these guys that snipe, and you do connect with the nades, you know, you can nade right there where I was just nading, or you can nade in the back S2, or you can nade like high elbow right here. You throw that nade, and get a guy weak that's high elbow if you think he's there. But I think the best thing to do is like send 2, maybe even 3. You can either wait for camo. That's probably the best way to do is get the camo and try to make a push with that. Send them top middle, send them bottom glass. Just make sure you work with their teammate. The other thing is just to send 2 guys just to jump out snipe lift at the same time. They can literally jump right here. One guy can jump up and down here if they have snipe, and one guy can literally jump out and drop down. Or at the same time, if you have send a guy top blue ramp and bottom blue right here at the same time, then like sniper can't snipe both of them at the same time, right? So sniper guy's gonna get weak. While you do that, you can have a teammate at camo area, right? Or you send a guy over towards gold. He can be playing camo, trying to get shots on them S2, make sure he doesn't get sniped, but try to shoot them bottom green, you know, shoot them high elbow, shoot them S2, whatever, and then throw, like, if your teammates jump out, right, then those guys that are weak at sniper are going to be heading towards that way, right? Or you can either nade S3 or you can just nade them S2, try to kill them as they go S1 under glass, like if they go under glass. So that's the basic idea, is get them weak at snipe and then nade them out and then push top middle. So one of the main things people don't do is they try to like push right here from top gold. What people do that doesn't work is they probably try to push top gold to top mid when these guys at sniper full shields, and then like if your blue guys are weak and these guys are sniper full shields, they're just gonna be S3, they're gonna be S2, and they're just gonna light you up top middle from snipe, and then you're dead. So I hope this helps. I don't really know what else to like say. Besides, like if you're trying to break a setup, try not to just go bottom glass a lot because you can just get trapped down there and not do anything. Maybe if the mauler's up and you have camo, it could be a good idea. But like a lot of times that bottom middle push isn't that likely to work unless like one of the enemies like goes S1 and you can nade him S2 and get a kill. Besides that, it doesn't work that well. Okay, so snipe lift is like the more likely percentage play to break a setup. Okay, so that's maybe a lot of the main tips for Guardian. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and catch me in my stream at twitch.tv/acetv. All right, have a good day, everybody.